Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. I loved how our OP used her stupidity for her own personal gain and then threw her under the bus. I hope she learned a lesson from this, but I doubt it. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. You want me to lie to corporate? Okay then, thanks for the free TV. So this happened about 5 years ago. I was working for a hotel near my college at the front desk. You know, checking people in and out and making reservations and all that. The two owners of this hotel were just plain delightful human beings. Always treated employees with respect and often brought their beautiful golden retriever in who liked to hang out behind the front desk with us. I should also mention that this hotel has a rewards program, pretty standard. You get points for staying, and you can turn those points into free rooms or even commercial products, music, DVD players, plane tickets, gift cards, etc. Employees also earned points for signing people up for the program. We could use our points just like the customers could, which becomes important momentarily. Now, unlike the owners, the manager, call her B, was not delightful. She was a classic suck-up to the owners, but when they were gone, she adopted a struck my way or the highway attitude. She also thought she knew everything. This is also important. For example, I at the time was finishing my senior year of a physics-mathematics double major. Anytime I brought up any type of scientific or mathematical concept with a coworker, another physics major, B butts her head in, injecting completely wrong information, swearing up and down that she knows it for a fact. Anyway, so as manager, B has monthly quotas to reach. One of which was more of a team-wide quota, but the reward or consequence for meeting or not meeting this quota fell to her. She needed us to get more people to sign up for the rewards program. She told me to just sign people up even if they say no. Make up email addresses for them if you have to. Now this seemed like fraud to me. I didn't want to get in trouble nor get the owners of the hotel I trouble work corporate, so I emailed her to get it in writing that it's a direct order from her. I asked something along the lines of, "Hey B, just wanted to confirm that you told me to go ahead and just sign everyone up for the rewards program even if they said no." She responds, "Yes." So I do. I sign up every effing person that walks through that door. Even if they call to cancel a reservation, sign up. Want to extend your stay? Sign up. Got locked out of your room and need your key? What's your name? Sign up. By the end of that month, she printed out the report. The second highest amount of signups was B with 40 signups at a 60% email address attainment rate. In first place, me with 390-something signups and a 98% email rate. Well, corporate finds this suspicious and investigates. They contact the owners who call me in one day. I show them and corporate the email and say I was just following orders. Long story short, B gets fired, and I ended up with 600,000 points from all my signups. Enough for $600 in Best Buy gift cards for a sweet new TV. Thanks, B. And our second story. Entitled mother steals phone and instantly regrets it. When I was in high school, I had to use the public transport every day due to living outside the school bus range. This was a 2.5-hour bus ride every day to and back from school. This includes waking up at god-awful hours. I normally slept while on the bus due to the length of the bus ride. Today was not one of those days. On the 10th or so stop, a young woman, along with her child of maybe 3 and mega stroller in tow, the ones that are about 3 to 4 feet wide and 6 feet long, massive wheels and all that jazz, got onto the bus. I was awoken as the child was already screaming. I looked over toward the disturbance as at first I thought someone got hurt from the wailing. Noticing the child and mother, I decided to just put in my earphones and hope to drown it out with some music. This would not be the case as the woman moved her big butt stroller right in front of myself and the 2 passengers next to me. As you see, we were sitting on one of those fold-up seats for the wheelchairs. In my city, the mega strollers normally take these seats up. Normally, I would move to a different seat or stand, but I was confused by this as the other wheelchair seats were vacant. I figured the EM was just putting her stroller along with her spawn there while she pulled up the seat. Nope. She instead looks down upon me and the other 2 sitting next to myself and demanded us to move as we were in her spot. I paused my music and looked up, then around to see if she was being serious. Not heeding her demand instantly earned her ire. EM, I told you to do something, young man. Stop being rude. Mind you, her spawn was screaming the entire time, throwing something. I think was dry cereal everywhere. So I'm assuming that's what she said. Me, miss, your stroller's in the way, and there's a free seat right behind you. EM, excuse me? The women screamed, earning looks towards us from other passengers who were busy trying to ignore the screams, but that's not all. The passenger next to me was visibly shaking and groaning, the woman next to him trying to calm him down. I had no idea at this point, but it turned out he had some serious learning disabilities, and this situation was upsetting him. Me, I'm sorry, but I'm staying here, I said, not wanting to deal with the conversation, and turned my music back on while putting both earphones back in. This was unacceptable to both EM and the child, apparently, as I had a handful of cereal thrown at me, unintelligible screaming, and the mother shrieking at me. EM, how dare you, you ungrateful a-hole? I'm a single mother, and this is how you treat me? You effing brat! Listen when I'm talking to you, which was followed by her pushing her stroller forward to then reach down and tear my phone away from me. I didn't expect that at all, and at the time wasn't holding on to my phone too tightly, both mistakes on my part, so she easily ripped the phone out of my hand along with the earphones coming out. Now the child was throwing cereal at the mentally disabled man, but this was the least of my concerns. How that poor man didn't lose his cool was beyond me. Truly a saint. I jumped up, red in the face, and nearing my limit of self-control, considering it was F o'clock in the morning, and now I just had my property stolen. As soon as I stood up, the woman started grinning. I think that smirk or grin was the most memorable moment for me. EM, what are you gonna do, huh, you effing brat? This should teach you a lesson. Me, my phone, ma'am, that... EM, you don't deserve it. Clearly your parents effed up. Me, ma'am, you've stole... EM, don't you dare effing talk to me like that, brat. Me, ma'am, could you please get... At this moment, I was still standing where I just stood up. We were a little close, but there was still a respectful distance between us, and I wasn't moving further. EM, he hit me, this little And that's when the woman, aka the mentally impaired man's helper, stood up and shouted at the EM, let's call her H. H, listen right here, you daft little C. You say one more word. EM, excuse. H slapped EM across the face, leaning over the stroller and all, not caring that who knows what was being thrown at her. At this point, the entire bus, minus the bus driver who can't do anything but ask people to stop, was watching the confrontation. H, daft little C words like you ought to be taught some real respect. Another slap as EM tried to protest. She just looked shocked. Hell, I was shocked. Give that young man his phone back before I show you that real respect, missy. EM tried to defend herself, but H raised her hand and made it clear she was going to strike her again. So she handed my phone back and started stuttering about how her baby was going to be traumatized by this and how she'll sue us all. Bus driver still doesn't care. H, however, did care. H, your spawn? Traumatized? It's been doing nothing but throw food and wail like a banshee. Go over to those free seats and mind your own effing business, you dumb T-word. EM seemed to regain her courage and tried to shout at the woman and cry crocodile tears to gain some sort of sympathy. I don't recall exactly what was said, something along the lines of how H was abusing her and how she didn't deserve this. One of the other passengers seemed to have enough of all the bullcrap and got up. EM thought this was her knight in shining armor and started talking to him. Let's call him M. M. Miss, I'm a bylaw officer. If you continue to harass this man, he pointed to the man who H was helping to take care of, I'll report you to the authorities. Please go to a seat away from him and halt your disturbance or leave the bus. EM was shocked and looked around the bus for any help, but saw everyone was glaring at her and her child. I guess something clicked in her head and she decided to just get off the bus at the next stop, calling us all a-holes. The bylaw officer then apologized to H and told her that if she ends up getting called to court for assault, he'll be happy to testify on her behalf, even giving her a number to call. So that was nice. I thanked H profoundly and apologized for the trouble. She said it was no problem and that she was going to say something anyways, as the man she was with was being harassed by the child. And it just wasn't right. Anyways, hope you people enjoy. This happened, 5 or so years ago. Whenever I take the bus at that GD awful hour, I do happen to see H and that man. Seems it's her full-time job to look after him. Never saw that EM again, though, so I doubt it actually went to court. Still glad that H did that on my behalf, as I was seconds away from just slugging the EM. And our last story. Neighbor Karen sold my land. 15 years ago, my family bought some land from our neighbors. We signed an agreement. I built a fence and a small shed with a pergola around that piece of land. That land was turned into our backyard with a perimeter fence around it. But 10 years later, even though they signed a contract with my parents, our good neighbor Karen says she owned the land, and if I don't agree, we'll go to court. We didn't think our neighbors would act this way since they've been friendly for so long, but now they're doing it. I don't know how dumb you have to be, but we have a paper contract that both sides signed, and Karen's well aware of it. But there is one thing our dear good neighbor Karen does not know. My father owns a law company and has been a lawyer himself for over 30 years in our state. He's even sometimes invited to lecture future lawyers in college. My father was hurt by this kind of behavior. He took personal control of the case. But since a new young employee is my representative, who's also, by an absolute unbelievable coincidence, also my nephew. Karen, on the other hand, is an intelligent and sensible neighbor, decided to represent herself in court by herself. By the look on the judge's face, I think she didn't even understand. On what grounds do they believe Karen can just take it back and do? She thinks she can do so at no cost to them? My father checked online records, and even there the land was registered in my name. The only proof of Karen was the old paper documents where the land was still registered in her name. I think you know who won the case. Yep, sometimes Karen's madness just doesn't make sense. What was she hoping for, guys? Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.